What's up, fantasy freaks? It is the late night goodies with your boys, Rick Kamla and Steve Alexander, FSWA Hall of Famer. The plaque is over his left shoulder, aka Dr. A. We are going to dive into a fun and thrilling Tuesday night slate. Want to tell you about our sponsor before we dive into our Magic Man. Bet Online. They continue to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds and everything from pro and college football, the NBA, college basketball, NHL, and UFC. BetOnline is the number one sports betting source for the new year. From touchdowns to three-pointers to hat tricks, BetOnline has you covered on every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Doc, get us started here, recapping Tuesday night's games with your Magic Man of the night.
Well, I was all set on a certain point guard in a team that some people might call them the Los Gatos, who is on my Cam Dynasty team. But Trae Young, dude. Trae Young changed my mind. Trae Young had 24 points, 20 assists, 3 3-pointers, and one of those 3-pointers, the last 3-pointer, was at the buzzer from about 5 feet behind the half-court line to win the game. He broke the tie, 124-121. Just an incredible performance from Trae Young. They did it without Jalen Johnson, and he earns it. When you hit a shot from however far it is, 5 feet over half court, what is it, 96, 48, a 52-footer, you get Magic Man from Doc, especially when you have a 20-20 double-double. No steals.
I like it, Doc. I do. Trae was heroic. And the Hawks have been taking on water on this road trip without Jalen Johnson. That was a really necessary win for the ATLians. I'm going to go, Doc, with LaMelo Ball.
That's
because
who I was
LaMelo Ball,
the Los Gatos.
Yeah, because he helped maybe you guys make some money.
Oh, no, they're the
I'm not in a
now.
betting.
They used to be the Gatos.
I'm not in a. I don't like bet. I give betting advice, but I don't bet, and that makes me actually probably better at it. But LaMelo Ball, because it's just strictly numbers and analysis. LaMelo Ball, 32, 10, and 7, 4 steals, 5 threes. I mean, what? Crazy good stat line. And you know, I said this and Doc agreed on Monday night. Is that when we did this? I don't know. All the nights are getting confusing for me. But we said take Charlotte plus the 2.5 as a home dog against the Phoenix Suns, who kind of sort of suck right now in the second of a back-to-back. And the Suns got off to a really good start, and then they ran out of gas, and Charlotte ran away and hid and won the game 115-104. So LaMelo Ball, and we got to enjoy it while it lasts. Okay, these are your your sell high opportunities with LaMelo Ball. Not if you're in a dynasty league, but if you're in a redraft league, do you trust LaMelo Ball to finish the season? Because I don't. I'd be shopping him right now. These stat lines are mega. They are absolutely huge. So LaMelo Ball is my Magic Man of the night. Doc, let's dive into the games here. And let's start, let's go back to the beginning of the night here. Houston at Washington, and just take them in chronological order. I almost went with Jalen Green as my Magic Man. He deserves a shout out here, Doc. He has not missed a game this year. He played through a questionable tag tonight, and it seems like a lot of guys are taking the easy way out. Jalen Green did not. Right knee contusion, played great. 29 and 8, 2 assists, 2 steals, 7 threes. And after a very slumpy period for him, he has stabilized. Ahmed Thompson had another ridiculous stat line, 20, 15, and 5 with 3 steals. That's a Kevin Garnett stat line, folks. Alpi Şengün, Doc's guy went 26, 10, and 6. We'll get to the Washington side here in a minute. But, Doc, the Houston box score is a freaking masterpiece.
Well, and you didn't even mention Fred VanVleet with 19 and 12 dimes. And you didn't mention your guy, Cam Whitmore, 17 points, 3 3-pointers. You only had 1 rebound and 1 steal. You didn't do a whole lot else. But if you're picking up a guy off waivers, and he scores 17 points for you in 18 minutes. That's a win. That's a dub. And Rick, I don't mean to wake you up over there, but props on the Charlotte Hornets call on your point spread, on your bet that wasn't actually a bet. When I was talking about Los Gatos, I was thinking for some reason that they were still the Charlotte Bobcats. I have a Charlotte Bobcats sweatshirt from way back in the day, but they're the Hornets. But man, the Houston Rockets are a juggernaut. And I'm telling you, man, they are this year's Minnesota from last year. And I could see them upsetting somebody in the playoffs, like a really good team. I think the really good teams, the OKCs, the Denvers, they're not going to really want to run into this Utah team in the playoffs because they're young and they're hungry and they don't know any better. And they're coached by a guy who likes to throw daggers, man. And I don't want to see Houston in the playoffs.
Indeed, bro. Indeed. So the Washington side of this one, Kyle Kuzma, 10 points, 6 rebounds in 17 minutes. Right calf contusion. It's time to put him in your injury slot and leave him there for a long time. A calf injury for Kuzma on a tanking team? Hello. Like, is he going to play 10 more games this year? I'd probably take the under on that. And so wanted to put that out there. Keyshawn George got the start tonight over Justin Champagnie. He had some goodies, but it wasn't a great line. 9, 4, and 3, a block, 2 steals, and a 3. And he is a goody guy when he gets minutes. And earlier this year, he had some really good games. So keep your eye on Keyshawn George. Bub Carrington played well, but not great. 12, 5, and 4 with 4 threes. And Doc, with Jordan Poole missed this game tonight. With Kyle Kuzma going back on the shelf, I believe that now Coach Keefe is going to go with Champagnie and Keyshawn George in the starting 5. And I mean, like we are really at the bottom of the bucket here, parsing the rotations of one of the worst teams of the last generation. But that's what we do in fantasy basketball. And there are some goodies to be had here, okay? So let me ask you a question. We're big Bub guys, and we've been big Bub guys all year, especially when he's starting and getting the minutes like he is right now. Let me give you a choice here. Both of these guys are on waivers. You got some room. Who are you going to get? Keyshawn George or Justin Champagnie?
Champagnie, and it's not close. And I've been like, here comes Kyle Kuzma. Justin Champagnie's about to go away. And you guys are like, no, he's not. And he was going away. And he did go away tonight. 7 points, 5 boards, 21 minutes. But now, Kuzma's got that Luka injury, right? Like, that's a month. And that's not good. So I think if you were on Justin Champagnie earlier and you got off of him because Kuzma came back, it's time to get back on. Because I'm with Rick. I think this news on Kuzma's injury is not good, and he's going to be out for a while.
It's the way this goes, man. This is not our first rodeo or yours. It's the Fantasy NBA Today, Ethos After Dark. Rick Kamla and Steve Alexander, a.k.a. Dr. A. We talked about this a little bit here. Charlotte's victory over Phoenix, moving your boy Cam to 8-6 ATS on the year. Interesting thing in this game was the center position for Charlotte. Mark Williams has been rolling, and he had an okay game tonight, 9-10 with 3 assists and nothing else in 22 minutes. Nick Richards was great, and Nick Richards spiked up. He's been playing very low minutes. He was sub 10 minutes in his previous game, pops up for 25 minutes, goes 15, 12, and 3. So I'm looking at this. Is this a one-game aberration? Or because it's been very clearly Mark Williams' show, and Nick Richards is a low-dough backup. Are we going to be back to splitting the center position, or was this just a one-game thing? I don't know the answer to that. The next game is going to be very, very revealing in that regard with the Charlotte Hornets center position. And then on the Phoenix side, Doc, Phoenix is the new Golden State in terms of having a really terrible, awful, hard-to-read rotation for fantasy. Booker went off tonight, which was good to see. Durant had a Durant game. And basically, nobody else did, it's just, Tyus Jones played like 22 minutes. And Dunn didn't even play big minutes tonight. And Plumlee and Nurkic and Iguodala are splitting. Like, it's a mess. Okay, it's a Golden State mess right now. And Doc, I think that Tyson Jones can be sent to waivers. If you're in a 10-team Yahoo league or a 12-team Yahoo league, there are better guys out there right now. Bub Carrington, I'd rather have. Why am I blanking on this?
Thompson.
Keon Johnson, I'd rather have. Osar Thompson, I'd rather have. There's a bunch of guys I'd rather have than Tyus Jones right now.
Keon Ellis,
good call. Very good call.
So yeah, there are guys out there that we would rather have than Tyus Jones, especially when Devin Booker has suddenly become an assist guy, a point guard guy. They're sort of like, that's sort of what he's doing now. He's like running the point and playing shooting guard all at the same time. And, Ryan Dunn played heavy minutes tonight, 25 points. He was in the starting lineup again, 6 points and 4 boards. Not as good as he was in his first start on Monday. But Mason Plumlee, man, like, what a mystery he is for these Suns right now. 20 minutes, 1 shot, which he missed, but he had 12 rebounds, 2 assists and a steal. Very weird. But him and Yusuf Nurkic are in a total true timeshare. Iguodala only got 6 minutes. And then Grayson Allen popped back up out of nowhere tonight. 25 minutes, but he only had 9 points and 3 boards. Brewski's dream of Grayson Allen becoming a thing is still cooking on the stove. It's broiling right now. And I don't think it's gonna happen.
I think it's leftovers in the fridge that are cold as hell. I love Brew, but I'm not feeling that at all.
Spoiling, like you're putting them out.
No, I mean, it can be like day-old pizza that you eat and it's yummy. I mean, I'm not even saying like all that. I'm just saying I don't think this is on the stove and percolating. I don't. He had an okay game tonight. What did he do the previous game? He completely sucked. And Royce O'Neal's going to come back at some point. But you're in this Golden State. We're playing 12 guys soup. And so if Grayson Allen hits a heater and makes his first 3 shots, he's going to play more of that game. And if Grayson Allen misses his first 3 shots, he's going to play 10 minutes. Okay? Bradley Beal had 10 points tonight, and we knew that was going to happen. Bradley Beal's not going to be a rock star every night off the bench. That's a huge hit to his fantasy value and ego. Before we move on to the next game, I want to thank you guys for listening to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast. Help us keep this going and build it and below it, okay? Head to sportsethos.com and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a 5-star review. Bad loss for the LA Lakers. Bad Lakers. Like you're talking to a puppy who pooped on the floor. Bad Lakers. And you rub the puppy's nose in the, not the doo-doo, but like, the carpet. Just, I don't know. I never did that because I'm not that guy. I'm not like, I'm a kind-hearted, peaceful, tree-hugging dude, but I don't want to rub his nose in it. That puppy will never crap on the floor again. Yeah, right. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I'll reel it back in here. But Doc, you were lamenting last night, Monday night, that Jason Kidd in their last game went point guard-less. He got back to starting Dinwiddie tonight. It was a great move. And this game was streamer's paradise for the Mavs, without Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Dinwiddie, 19, 6, and 8. Grimes, 23, 9, and 6. Hardy, 15, 3, and 2. And I'm even going to throw in Klay Thompson, who basically is now a clone of Tim Hardaway Jr. up in Detroit. What did he have tonight, Doc? 13 points, 3 threes. That is the absolute prototypical Tim Hardaway Jr. stat line, right? So Klay Thompson's probably a streamer at this point, especially in shallow leagues. So this was a streamer's paradise for the Mavs, dude.
Well, I want to know what's going on at center here because Danny Gafford's out. He's hurt, and I don't know how long he's going to be out. It might be a minute. And Derek Lively gets 19 minutes. I didn't like that. And then Quentin Grimes, quietly, last 3 games, 6 assists, 6 assists, 6 assists, 9 rebounds, 6 rebounds, 2 rebounds, 5 rebounds, 7 rebounds, 6. Like, he's rebounding. And then the points, 23, 9, 26, 17, 11, 15. He's actually been the best player in Luka and Kyrie's absence. And Rick, this was a somewhat historic win for for Dallas. And when I say history, I don't mean it was historic really for the franchise, but they broke a 5-game losing streak and they broke a 10-game losing streak in games where Luke and Kyrie do not play. So bad Lakers. Bad. Look at what you did. You're going outside. Mute. You're muted. Rick. 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 You are
Damn it,
muted.
I had good jokes too. You know what LeBron and Davis are saying to JJ Redick? If JJ Redick's like, no more pooping on the floor, they're like, bro, we can get you fired tonight, okay? Go put some more product in your hair and keep it moving. Let's move on to the next game here, man. Sorry about the mute factor right there. All right, it is Fantasy NBA today. Rick Kamla and Dr. A. And Doc, just quickly, or I don't want to spend much time on this. You know that I got a little lab experiment here with Dorian Finney-Smith versus Rui Hachimura. Tonight it was no contest. Dorian Finney-Smith had a way better game. 11 points and 3 threes in 28 minutes. Rui played 26 minutes, had 6 points, and did not make a three. And rest of season, I'd rather have Dorian Finney-Smith than Rui Hachimura. So, Doc, let's talk about Zion Williamson's return. He missed 27 games, okay? Left hamstring strain, and he was really, really good tonight, Doc. 22, 6, and 4, 1 block, 3 steals, played 28 minutes. He was at 24, and then they brought him back late in the fourth quarter, and he helped out, to kind of breathe life into the team and make it somewhat close. Obviously, the Timberwolves won this game. And just want to reiterate, man, we talked about this on Monday night in advance, like thinking that Zion might play. Well, he actually did play. It's not a sell high opportunity. There is no selling high with Zion Williamson. There's not. You can't call your shot with Zion. Like LaMelo Ball, you might be able to kind of sort of call your shot with him right now. That is selling high. We're selling medium with Zion, okay? We're looking for a PJ Washington, a Josh Hart, a Dyson Daniels, a Derek White, a Darius Garland, a Jarrett Allen, a Michael Porter Jr., OG or Mikal of the Knicks, and an Ivica Zubac. So just wanted to put that out there again. Maybe if some audience members weren't listening on Monday night, Doc. But and I also want to say this. You were, and I don't think you're wrong. It's just not how I'm approaching this. Zion, you were talking about, now is the sell high opportunity with Zion. If I'm another manager and you hit me with the Zion trade right now, I'm going to wait. I do have Zion Williamson in several of my teams. And yes, it's one of the banes of my fantasy existence this year. I'm giving him 3 games, okay, of rock star performances, and then I'm going shopping. I want him back with his legs under him for about a week, and then I'm going to go shopping. I think 1 game back, it's just a little bit, for me, it's a little bit too soon.
I mean, you're right. But remember when Jimmy had that like 35, 20, 15 game, and his managers may have been like, oh man, that was awesome, but it's too soon. I need to let him percolate a little more. Well, that ship has sailed, and if you didn't act immediately, it quickly nosedived like Evil Knievel's rocket ship went down in the canyon, and the parachute barely saved his life. Right? I'm not going to say now is the ultimate time to move Zion, but maybe someone will take him, because what is the point of playing Zion for a team that has 7 wins and 30 losses, clearly trying to tank? They're without Brandon Ingram. Like, they have no shot of catching up or doing anything. And all they can really do now is tank for Cooper Flagg and maybe get Zion out of there and get Cooper Flagg in there. And I don't know if they can effectively tank with DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, and Zion Williams, along with Herb Jones and Yves Missi, all playing for them. Like, they have too many good players. So showcasing for a trade, proving to people that he's healthy and he can play. And I'll tell you what, that that reverse 360 windmill dunk certainly made it look like he's healthy right now, right? Like you just can't do that if you're not feeling it. So to me, if you want to get rid of Zion, now is the time you start throwing it out there. And maybe you get a guy that likes, man, I really like Zion, but I need to see it for 1 or 2 more games. And you say, okay, cool. We'll wait 1 or 2 more games, and then we'll do it if you still want to. But to me, this is like anytime Zion or LaMelo plays, you get excited because you have him on your team, and you're like, oh, maybe he's going to stick around. Maybe this is not fake news. But it is fake news. And if you can move Zion now, you move him. And you gave a list on Monday of guys to trade Zion for. And I have it here. And I think it's worth revisiting for people who didn't hear that one. PJ Washington. I can't read my own handwriting. Didi, is that DeMar DeRozan? Josh Hart? Jared Allen? Ivica Zubac? Darius Garland? I'd say both Bridges, Mikhail and Miles. OG Anunoby, Michael Porter Jr., and I think that's Derek White. Like, that's a good list of guys that I would throw out there in a Zion Williams offer.
Good luck with your shopping, ladies and gentlemen. Ant-Man is rolling. Really good to see. 32 more points tonight, 7 bombs. He had a couple of steals. He's gone 53, 37, 32. We're not taking credit. We're just citing, we'll admit when we're wrong, but we told you, hang in there with Ant-Man, go out there and buy low with Ant-Man. A heater is coming. And it happened right after he complained about, I'm not here to pass the ball, and complaining about double teams. And it's like, boo-hoo, young man. I don't want to hear it. Okay. Every great player in the history of the NBA has had to deal with double teams. Every single one of them. Okay. Every great defensive pass rusher in the NFL has to deal with double teams. Nick Bosa, J.J. Watt, T.J. Watt, Reggie White, Lawrence Taylor, all these guys, double teams the whole game. Aaron Donald, okay? And guess what? They found a way to dominate and be the Hall of Fame greats that they are, and Ant-Man has figured that out. Now, Doc, let's get to, in a little bit broader scope here, because your Magic Man was Trae Young. So let's talk about this game. This was a phenomenal basketball game, man. A lot of big-time statistical performances here. Let's start with the Hawks side, since they were able to get the dub here. And we talked about what a big win it was for Atlanta. I believe they had lost 3 in a row on this road trip. They lost to the Clippers, they lost to the Lakers, and I think they lost, to Denver. So I'm pretty sure that was a 3-game skid. They're now back over 500 at 19-18. And Trae went 24-20 tonight. Capella actually was heard from, 18 points and 3 blocks. That's like the best game he's had all year. Dyson Daniels, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Hunter had 17 off the bench. I mean, that guy is so freaking consistent. Bogey Bogdanovic came back tonight. Keep your eye on him. He's in streamer mode right now. Usually I'd be like, I'm a Bogey guy, but not this year. Now with DeAndre Hunter doing what he's doing, Bogey is a streamer only at this point. He had 11 points, 3 assists, and 3 threes. So keep him in mind in future games as a streamer. And then, Doc, I'll let you kind of dive into the Utah box score right here. They played without Jordan Clarkson. Who else did they play without tonight? Clarkson was out.
Everybody.
Keontae George was out. Sensabaugh was out. They were missing a lot of guys tonight.
Yeah, and real quick before I do that, in case you missed the show on Monday, we've been talking about Dante DiVincenzo and the fact he moved in the starting lineup from Minnesota, bumping Mike Conley out of it. Didn't have a monster night tonight, but he started. He played big minutes, and I'm telling you, Dante DiVincenzo is good to go for the rest of the season. I think he's locked into that starting lineup. He's another guy y'all should be thinking about picking up. As far as this Hawks-Utah game goes, Trae's three-pointer at the buzzer was absolutely thrilling and must-see TV. And for all the times that Trae has hit from the logo and all this crap, like this one was real. And this one won the game. And this one wasn't from the logo with the shot clock with 20 seconds on it. Like, this was to win a big game. I'm telling you, man, the dude has had the weight lifted off his shoulders. And he hits that shot, Rick. And I don't know if you've seen it yet, but he immediately turned to the crowd. He's just like he was laughing, like smiling so big and waving goodbye. And then it was classic. And I love the fact that he's got Dyson Daniels and Jalen Johnson to take some of the pressure off of him. As far as the Utah Jazz goes, Lauri Markkanen, 35 points, 11 and 21, 2 steals, a block, 2 rebounds, 8 3-pointers. The Jazz have won 9 games. Markkanen's a little banged up. Sell high. Get out from under this dude. The Utah Jazz expect him to be named an all-star team. And I just don't feel like there's any way this dude is playing all the way through March.
Where did you see that? Please clue me into that.
They're hyping him on Twitter and TV commercials.
Who's beating that drum?
The Jazz. They want him to be an all-star.
So it's the obligatory. Every team does it, even the crappy teams. I understand. So it's not okay. I got you. It's just they're checking a box as a team to promote their guys for all-star. I get it.
But dude, he's been good all year, and you called this last year. You're like, I'm not touching Markkanen last year because he ain't gonna be playing at the end of the game. And oh man, the Jazz mascot rubbing the Hawks, Brian Oliver's head while they're doing their pregame is so funny. It's incredible. But I don't think he's gonna play. Maybe he plays till March 15th. Maybe he plays till March 20th. Maybe he's shut down by March 1st. I am moving Lauri Markkanen, and he should bring back a boatload of value from people who don't listen to guys like us. And if we're wrong about Lauri Markkanen, we're wrong. But Rick, I assume that you are with me on this.
Oh yeah. John Collins, Kessler's probably going to be shut down. Colin Sexton's probably going to be shut down. Svi Mikhailuk and Bryce Sensabaugh and Micah Potter and Kyle Filipowski are probably going to be league winners and silly season heroes and all that kind of stuff. We already know how this goes, man.
My God, Johnny Juzang. But I did predict a big game from Walker Kessler. He had 21 and 10 with 3 blocks and a steal. I was glad to see that. And the Colin Sexton, I was like, well, nobody else can score for this team besides Markkanen. So play Colin Sexton. And 24 points, 2 threes. Got off to a really slow start. So huge win for my Atlanta Hawks.
And a huge win, Doc, for the Miami Heat. The embattled and embroiled in drama Miami Heat. 114-98, they win at Golden State, who is so lame and so average. They're 18 and 18 overall, 10 and 10 at home. Okay, you don't get more mid than that. Miami is 18 and 17. And holla at your boy, Jaime Jaquez. We've been on him. We've been telling you about him. He had a triple-double in the previous game. He was okay tonight, 18 and 5 with 1-3, no D. So not great, but a solid line, okay? He should not be on waivers right now. Jaquez is, in my opinion, locked into that starting 5 as long as Jimmy Butler has been basically exiled by the team. And another guy that I really think you got to pick up is Nikola Jovic here at 20 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 2 threes, played 34 minutes off the bench tonight. And like we said, Rozier and Highsmith are going to be very inconsistent night tonight. This was an example, and we said this last night, okay? Highsmith tonight, 5, 6, and 5. He had a Draymond line in 23 minutes. Terry Rozier, 9, 5, and 5, not a whole lot else in 32 minutes, okay? The guys to get, the beneficiaries of the Jimmy Butler drama are obviously Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo, but they're already really good. But they're going to do more without Jimmy Butler. But the guys who are going to go from nothing to something are Jaquez and Jovic, and they should not be like Jaquez is an immediate run, don't walk, pick up. Jovic, you might be able to walk and pick him up, but I'm not. But I am high on them both here moving forward.
Well, Jovic led the team in minutes tonight. You know, that's a big barometer for me. Jaime had a triple-double last game, played 29 minutes tonight, started. He's locked in. Now, there's going to be questions on Twitter or whatever coming in to us through uh, Discord and here on this chat or whatever. Well, what about when the Heat trade Jimmy Butler and then they get some stud back? Well, you cross that bridge when you come to it. For right now, you want to pick up Jaime Jaquez and you want to pick up Nikola Jovic and roll with them and see what happens. I'm not worried about what happens until it actually happens.
It's like New Orleans, Doc, with they're so deep and they've got so many guys, right? And Zion and Ingram and DeJounte and McCollum and Herb and Trey Murphy, right? Don't worry about that. It's about who's healthy right now. You've got Trey Murphy out, you've got Brandon Ingram out. So all of the guys are playing minutes, right? And New Orleans has not been in a situation where it's been overly crowded because of all the missed games. He's right. The trade deadline is less than a month from now. I believe, Doc, correct me if I'm wrong, it's February 6th. We are here on February 8th, recapping Tuesday night's games. So we got about a month to the deadline. From now to the deadline, Jimmy Butler is going to be moved. We don't know when, we don't know where, and a stud may be coming back, but don't worry about that. Go get Jaquez, go get Jovic right now, and reap the fantasy goodies. So the Golden State box score here, Doc, is very typical. I do see a fat line from my guy TJD, 19 and 7 with 2 steals and a block. Draymond flirts with a triple-double. Steph Curry has 31 with 8 threes. Not a whole lot else, okay? Dennis Schroeder, again, a yucky game. 5 points, 7 assists, 2 of 10. Hit 1 3. Buddy Hield had 11 points. I hate the Golden State box scores, Doc. I freaking hate their box scores. Their box scores suck. They need to be, but like this, dude, balled up, and I'm throwing shit around my office here. They need to be balled up, and you need to like hit a basket into your trash can. That's what these box scores are. They're unadulterated trash. That's very smelly on a hot summer day.
And they're also a really long read because you have to like keep scrolling down to get all the way to the bottom because he's playing so many guys, so many minutes. I will say this: Dennis Schroeder has not popped um, for the Warriors yet. 29 minutes tonight, 7 assists. Um, it's going to happen. I'm hanging on to Dennis Schroeder if I've got him. I just think he's going to be better than this once he gets acclimated and once everything calms down and once Steve Kerr stops playing Lindy Waters 19 minutes and Kyle Anderson 27 minutes and Moses Moody 15 minutes. Like none of it makes sense. The other thing is I was asked on my radio show in Panama City Beach, Florida today. Talk to me about the guy. This is how funny this is. The dude called him Buddy Hield. He was talking to me about Buddy Hield. Like, wasn't he a top 10 guy for like the first 3 weeks of the season? And I was like, Buddy Hield was a top 10 guy. You are correct. But he's fallen off. Like, he's so bad now. And I was like, he is bad. And everyone has moved on from him. But Buddy Hield only had 11 points, but he also had 8 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, 2 threes, and he played 24 minutes. Well, he's a bigger name that's out there, and he's hit more 3-pointers over the last like 4 or 5 seasons than any other player. So there are fantasy managers that are out there that are going to be going, oh man, maybe I should pick up Buddy Hield. He had a good night. I'm not buying it, and I'm not falling for it, and as long as Steve Kerr is going to play 15 guys for 10 minutes, I'm not messing with Buddy Hield because he hasn't proven anything. If he does this 3 more times in a row, maybe I'll buy in.
It gets weirder too because Gary Payton II and Brandon Pajemski are going to come back at some point.
Yeah, then it's even worse. It's even worse.
It's already a mess, and they're not playing. Okay. Steve Kerr has the worst rotation in basketball, and we love when his team takes L's because karma. He has the worst rotation in basketball.
This is karma for Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton. That's what it is.
Word.
Coming back.
Word. We have one more game to break down here as we recap Tuesday night. Before we look at the last game, have you downloaded the Sports Ethos app yet? It's completely free. Keeps you updated with all the key news impacting your fantasy NBA teams. Plus, it offers individual feeds for MLB and NFL, along with free tools to help you dominate fantasy basketball. Download it now from your favorite app store. Nikola Jovic did not play tonight, Doc, as the Boston Celtics went into Denver to take on the Nuggets, and that game is final. Boston has prevailed because they are rock stars on the road. They're 14-4 on the road, which is stupid. Tatum, large, 29 with goodies. Porzingis was fantastic, 25 and 11. Drew Holiday actually had a pop game here with 19. Obviously, there's rarely actionable stuff with Boston. They've got their guys. Peyton Pritchard didn't have a great game tonight, but the next game, Peyton Pritchard's probably going to pop for 21 points. Okay, he's been super consistent this year. And then on the Denver side, Doc, Russell Westbrook. We had a feeling about this. And again, Russell Westbrook on Wednesday night will be playing the Clippers, his former team. Look for another one of these fat ass lines. 26, 9, and 6 for Russ tonight. That's a third quarter Jokic line. Not a game line, but that's like a third quarter line for Nikola Jokic, right? So take it from there, Doc, in terms of your breakdown on this game, as Denver was super shorthanded tonight. No Aaron Gordon, no Nikola Jokic, and not surprising that they took an out.
Well, I'm mad at Jaylen Brown because he was terrible in the first half. All I needed was 2 3-pointers out of the guy. Derek White did not play in this game. So how Jaylen Brown nor Peyton Pritchard popped in this game doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I guess it doesn't matter because Boston won, but it matters to me, and it hurt me a little bit. I just expected more. And dude, I haven't looked up the odds. Andre, if you're listening, which I know you are, he's always listening. He's like the Wizard of Oz. What are the odds for Sixth Man of the Year between Peyton Pritchard and our guy DeAndre Hunter in Atlanta? Ah, man, brain freeze. You're sick and yawning. I can't think of anything right now. But Pritchard was so far ahead in that race, according to Vegas. And there's other guys. They have to be tracking him a little bit because he's not as hot as he once was. But DeAndre Hunter has been so good. He's still a huge favorite, minus 200. I think DeAndre Hunter has to be closing in somewhere. And then as far as Russell Westbrook goes, we talked about this. And Rick, tomorrow night, he plays against James Harden. And that is going to be fun. The two, I don't think they love each other. And Westbrook has been on fire since they put him in the starting lineup for this team. And I think Russell Westbrook, especially with no Nikola Jokic, he's the next guy that they're sort of leaning on. It's not Jamal Murray's team. It's not Michael Porter's. Like Westbrook is already more impactful and more influential on this team than those guys are, which is really weird to me. I didn't expect that to happen.
I'm curious to see where Malik Beasley is. I just kind of scanned the league a little bit, Doc, for Sixth Man of the Year. To me,
So
Peyton
Peyton
Pritchard and
Pritchard's-
DeAndre Hunter are the two obvious but look, Malik Beasley's been a huge reason why the Detroit Pistons are relevant. And let me look at the standings right now. The Pistons are in the play-in tournament bracket right now at 18-18. They've won 4 games in a row. Damn it, Malik Beasley has been one of the best bench players in the league this year. I'd probably put him third. Pritchard 1, Hunter 2, and very close between those two guys. Then Malik Beasley at 3. So I just wanted to bring Malik Beasley into that because he's been absolutely phenomenal off that Detroit bench.
No, he absolutely has been. He's been great. And I kind of thought we might be talking about a guy like Dalton Connect in that conversation, but that just hasn't really worked out. Maybe Bradley Beal gets in there since he's now a bench player, which is
you gotta play though.
No, he ain't playing enough games to get in there. That was a joke. That was more sarcasm. From me and Rick.
Well played.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Malik Monk plus 430.
Yeah, that was opening odds, to begin the season.
By the way, Nas Reed has been balling. I don't know if anybody's paying attention, I think I'd rather have Nas Reed on my team than your guy, Julius Randle.
I don't disagree.
Nas hits threes. He blocks shots. He's balling right now.
Dude, he guarded Jokic better than Gobert and Cat in the playoff series last year. Nas Reed took a little bit of a bite out of Jokic, not a full bite.
Well,
not a
Nas
sharp
Reed got
bite out
off-
of a surfboard, a little bite like that.
I was super fired up about Nas Reed coming into the season, and then he was quiet for like a few weeks early on. But man, if you look at his game log, he's cooking now. So if you hung in there with Nas Reed, I think you're doing well.
And he's shooting for dollars, guys. He has an opt out in his contract. I would bet my house that he opts out of that contract and will be an unrestricted free agent this summer. And he is going to get a contract that starts at $20 million a year or more. If Caruso just got $4 and $80, come on, man. Nas Reed should be at $4 and $120. So Nas Reed's going to get paid. And I think he's going to be made a starter by another team that goes out there and spends big to get him. Doc, we're out. Anything you want to promote before we say goodbye to the people?
Well, I was going to try to pull up those. Okay, right now, for 6th man of the year, what? There's Bradley Beal's name sticking out at me. He just got stuck in there. I don't know why he's that high, but that's not real. And Amen Thompson is up there. Malik Beasley, I think, is plus 3,000, maybe at MGM right now. DraftKings, he's 4,000. So he's still not in there yet. It's DeAndre Hunter and it's Peyton Pritchard right now. And Pritchard still holds a big lead. But if Hunter keeps doing this, man, it's going to be close.
All right, so we are out of time here, folks. Big night on Tuesday. We'll be back here Wednesday night breaking down all the games with you here on the Fantasy NBA Today Ethos After Dark. For Steve Alexander, for Andre Lemouche, I am Rick Kamla. Thank you for tuning into this episode. We are committed to making this the best fantasy basketball podcast out there. And so we'll be back on Wednesday continuing that. And this show was proudly presented to you by Bet Online. Get some sleep, y'all. We'll see you soon.